The program determines the number of arguments. It assumes the first argument is the name of a CSV file containing a sudoku board, otherwise it shows the user how to type in the name of the file. The main functions calls for the final sudoku board to be printed if it contains 9 rows and 9 columns, otherwise the terminal will print an error message. If the sudoku cannot be solved, the program will display a message to say that the file name typed as the second argument is opened in this function. The reader reads each of the rows to see where the original numbers are placed and where there are blank spaces. The board is printed in the terminal formatted with a border around the perimeter and dotted lines around each of the 9 blocks. If the solve function finds an empty cell, it attempts to put a number 1 to 9 in every cell and then loops through the function continuously until the grid is solved. If the grid does not solve, the function returns false. The solve function finds an empty cell by looking through all the rows and columns of the board to find a cell containing 0. It will then return the position of that 0 cell. If there are no null cells, it will return none. The isValid function checks if a cell is valid. This means when it is given the coordinates of a cell on the board, it can determine which number should go in that cell. First, it breaks the position tuple into row and column. It then checks if the number called is unique on that row and if the cell is empty to enable a number to be inputted. It then checks that the number is unique on the column and the cell is empty. Finally, it works out which of the 9 sudoku square boxes the number should go in by calculating integer division and remainder. If all checks are valid, the function ret runs true. This function is called later in solve to determine which number is being referred to.